So I went for my first run in the second week of my training and preparation for my 10K, and it went really well this morning, and it was quite a nice morning. It was sunny, but then obviously it was windy, but it was a good run after all. Today's run, I kind of felt like I was more ready, like my legs and my body just felt more ready for the run. Whereas last week, I felt like it was very painful, especially the first run. Everything kind of hurt after a while, and I kind of really struggled last week, just in general, especially the first run. But this week's first run has been good, and like I say, my whole body and all my muscles and legs kind of feel like it's ready for the run. And I was slowing down a lot less as well, so I was kind of a bit more consistent with running. Today I did another 3.2, 3.3K. It's a little bit faster this time. Generally at this stage, quite early on, I don't focus on kind of working on my speed or anything. I just want to be comfortable running the distance, and at the moment doing the 3K and building up to 4K is kind of what my focus is going to be. So I'm going to try and like build up to comfortably run the distance rather than trying to be fast. I've never really focused on speed, even when I was doing 10Ks before. It was more to make sure that I actually complete the race. But week 2 run 1 has definitely felt better than last week's run 1 for sure. And in general, last week was a bit more of a challenge, but this week it just felt nicer to be out on a run. Whenever it's windy or when it's cold, my nose is constantly running and I feel like I have to keep blowing my nose. I notice it even just when I go for a walk and when I go out for a walk with other people. I feel like I'm the only one who constantly blows their nose, whereas everyone else seems to be fine. I don't know, there's something wrong with my nose or something, and it's just very annoying. Normally when I go for a run, especially a long distance run or when I do a 10K run, I try to not take too much with me and not carry unnecessary things. So I try to be as minimal as possible, but I feel like I need to take phone, keys, and just like the bare minimum and essential items that I need. But I also need to take tissues with me because I constantly need to blow my nose. I don't know if anyone else gets it, but there's definitely something wrong with my nose. Lack of motivation is probably the biggest reason why people would quit something that they've started and never actually get to the end of it. And the same thing goes with running. It's quite hard to sometimes stay motivated when it's so easy to not get out of bed and go for a run. It's so easy to just watch one more episode on TV. Especially when you first start running, everything hurts and everything seems a bit painful and difficult, and it's so easy to not want to put yourself through that sort of pain. But for me, I want to commit to it and I want to complete what I started. I don't want to give up so easily without really trying and really pushing myself. So I think the main thing with motivation is that it's all in your head. It's so easy to convince yourself that you can't do something or it's too difficult, and there are other easier ways to just enjoy life and be happy and be comfortable. But at the end of the day, do you really just want to be in the same place and never actually move forward? I watched a video on a channel called Better Ideas, and he made a video on 7 things that cured his procrastination. And one of the things he mentioned in his video was the 3-2-1 rule, which I thought was really interesting, and I thought it was like a really good way to actually get yourself to do something. So basically the 3-2-1 rule is, if there's something that you need to do or you want to do, don't even think about it. Just count down from 3, 2, 1 and get up and do it. And I thought that's a great way to not procrastinate and then overthink something and then convincing yourself in your own head that something's too difficult and it's not worth doing. So I just come back from my second run this week. It felt really good. It was so cold though this morning when I went out. So I'm wearing my ASOS top again. I was going to go online and order another one, but then the price have gone back up. It was £13 when I ordered because it was on offer. But when I checked the other day, it was gone back to £18. I know it's not a lot of money, but still I managed to get it for 13. So I feel like I want it for 13 again. And because if I go 3 times a week, I'm not going to have enough time to wash and dry it between runs. And it's definitely getting very cold in the mornings now, especially when I go before work. It was a really good run though. I could see the sun kind of slowly coming up as well this morning. I feel like my legs just felt more ready again. Last week everything hurt and it almost felt like it was wrong going for a run because everything was hurting, whereas today it didn't feel like that at all. It felt nice, and it went really well. And I actually did a 4K run this morning. I kind of rather than turning off coming back to home, I just carried on for a little bit and see if I could go for a little bit longer, and I did 4K. and it was really good, other than my very runny nose again because it was so cold. But my second run went well, and I'm quite happy that I'm already feeling the difference, even though it's only the second week. That kind of gives me enough motivation to feel like as long as I keep going, it will become easier and I will eventually be able to run further and hopefully a little bit faster as well. So my second week done, and I'll keep you updated after my next run. For me at the moment, the biggest motivation is having an end goal. I've entered the 10k race already, so that's my end goal and that's what I'm aiming to achieve. So having an end goal in mind is definitely a big motivation. I feel like just knowing that something is going to end at some point is enough for me to feel like I can do this. When I first entered the race, it was 9 weeks until the actual race, and when I first started training, I was thinking, is this only going to be 9 weeks? I mean, hopefully there'll be many more 9 weeks in my life, so it can't be that bad. So that's all I need to focus on and aim for is the 9 weeks. Even if I just never do running again after that, it's still in my mind, I can do this 9 weeks. It's not that long, I can do it. So feeling that there's a destination and that's all you need to achieve, then it's easier for me to stick to something knowing that it's only going to be for this period of time and I can just stop at the end of that. The other thing that's been motivating me to go for a run is also after reading the book called Good Vibes, Good Life by Vex King. And in that book, there's a quote that I really like. When you act as if the goal is already the truth, your subconscious mind believes that it is and acts accordingly. And I think it's true in terms of imagining you already at that destination. So in the past, when I've trained to do 10Ks and different races and runs, for me, just thinking about crossing the finishing line and then getting the medal at the end and just completing what I started is actually a really good way to keep you going and motivated. And because I have done 10Ks in the past, and when they hand me the medal is the moment of feeling success and that I've achieved something that is really big to me personally, and it just makes me feel great. And now I try to remind myself of that moment, and for me to imagine doing all this training, even though it feels like hard work at the moment, but then actually finishing the race and them handing me the medal at the end just makes me feel like I want to do it more and I want to do well, and my focus at the moment is to complete the race. So I feel like that's good enough motivation for me to get up and do it. So definitely picture yourself at that goal, and then hopefully that'll be enough to keep you going in the meantime. So I've just come back from my third run and I'm really hot, even though when I left the house this morning it was 7 degrees Celsius. It was really cold. I did wear my ASOS top when I went out, and I also wore gloves because it was so chilly, but it was sunny out. The sun came out kind of during my run. It was quite bright at one point, so it's quite a nice day out. It's just very cold. I feel like it's still September, but the temperatures have really dropped and it's really cold at the moment. My third one was really good. I did 4.11k. I did it in about half an hour. Last time I went out, I think I did just over 4k, and that was 31 minutes. So I'm definitely getting a little bit faster, even though I'm not particularly working on speed at the moment. But it's nice to see that I'm making progress, which also means I'm slowing down less. Sometimes when I feel like I'm really out of breath or my legs really need to slow down for a bit, I'll either slow my pace down or I'll walk for a little bit. But today I managed to run further in a shorter space of time, which means I am getting quicker. It means my body's getting more comfortable with running, which is a good thing. But yeah, my third week went really well. I feel like it feels good. I still got motivation to carry on, which is the most important thing. But yeah, I feel good. Now I just need to get ready for work quickly. I ended up buying another ASOS top because even though it was back to the original price, but I ended up getting like a discount code, so it was actually reduced in the end. So I got another black one. I wanted to get the grey one. The dark grey one looked really nice as well, but that one wasn't reduced. So I ended up getting black again, but I don't really mind that because I like my black clothing. So here's another one of the same top. The other thing that motivates me is to tell people what your plans are and to let people know like this is what you're trying to do and I'm planning on doing this. So for me it's the 10k run. So that way it kind of gives you the push to complete what you said you're going to do. because at the end of the day, you don't want to feel like you failed. For some people, and including myself, there's been times where I've said I'll do something, or, oh, I've got this great idea, I'm going to achieve this big thing. And then over time, I kind of let it fade away, and hopefully people won't remember what I said I'll do because I ended up failing or not completing what I said I'll be doing. So in a way, it's good to tell people that that's what you're trying to achieve. And if you have supportive friends and family, they would support you, which is also another way to get you going and keep you motivated. For me, I've told my friends and my family that that's what I'm doing, and I'm doing a 10k run. And also I published a video last week saying that this is what I'm going to do and this is the start of it. So I feel like I can't let myself down, and also I feel committed because I've shared what I'm going to do and I don't want to feel like I failed. So for me, that's a big motivator to keep going. So sharing with others has definitely helped me keep going for now. I know it's only like the second week, so I don't know what's going to happen, but it definitely helps me thinking, oh, I've now said I'll do this, so I'm going to do this, because I don't want to be someone who just says they'll do loads of things and then they end up not doing it. But then on the other hand, if you feel like telling people will give you unnecessary stress or pressure, then keep it to yourself. And don't feel like you have to tell everyone or share it with everyone. There are certain things that obviously I have done in the past that I feel like the kind of stress that I'll get from other people, or people like asking me and constantly wanting to know how I'm getting on, would actually put me off and just put unnecessary stress on myself. I just haven't told them. One of them, when I was doing my motorcycle license, I feel like I didn't want to tell anyone that I was doing my test because I feel like I'll just feel so stressed about it, and there's always a chance that I would fail and I would just feel really bad about myself if I did. So I didn't actually tell anyone. So if this is something that you feel like might affect you and you don't want to let people know, that's okay as well. But I'm just saying that this kind of has worked for me, and telling people that this is what I'm going to do and sharing it publicly to say this is what I'm doing is kind of a big thing to keep me going and training. I've still been doing workouts between my runs, which really helps with building muscles and strength and kind of helps your stability, and just having a stronger core can help with running and your posture. So I've still been doing that. I've just not been filming kind of those workouts. On the weekend, I went for another long walk, which was really nice. It's always nice to go for something that's more casual and enjoyable. I feel like long walks definitely help with recovery when you've been running in the week, but also not kind of just sitting down and doing nothing. So I'm still keeping active, but not kind of as intense as going for a run. So I went on a long walk on the weekend. The weather was nice. And it was very enjoyable. I normally enjoy long walks anyway, so it's always nice to be able to find somewhere nice to go. This has only been my second week, but I feel very positive about running. I'm making good progress. I feel like it's not as hard as it seemed at the start. And definitely getting through the first week, I feel like I can do this, and I'm going to still take it steady and make sure I actually get there without any injuries. So this has been my second week update on my training and preparation for my 10k run. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and please subscribe if you don't want to miss out any future update videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on my next video.